How do you top your love for your cat? With a cascade of decadent savory gravy over a mouth-watering mousse pate. Fancy Feast gems. 2 gourmet pâtés in one convenient pack. Simply peel and plate to reveal a pyramid shape that makes eating delightful and pamper her with an experience as extraordinary as she is. Turn the everyday into the extraordinary with Fancy Feast gems.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This is Doyle. You're listening to Spirit Talk Show, bedtime stories for grown-ups. On Spirit Talk Show, we like stories that connect us. We listen to people's personal narratives, personal life stories, and we generate some stories with AI, of course. And we use that to connect with people, to find out who they are, so we can find a connection through storytelling. And if you guys would like to get involved, go to spirittalkshow.com. We like to have, of course, cool guests. And today's guest grew up on Disney Magic and then took the torch to a script. Bria Rose is an indie author of dark romance fairy retellings who blend childhood nostalgia with morally grey characters, twisted plots, and reimagined endings where the princess might save herself or burn the whole kingdom down. From her years as a Disney cast member to traveling the world with a scuba diver license in one hand and a pen in another, Bria brings a wild blend of wonder, wanderlust, and wicked storytelling. Her debut novel, Her Dark Promise, launched in Halloween 2024, and she hasn't slowed down since, with multiple books in the works, an audiobook on the way, with a penchant for villains who steal the show. Bria joins us for a spirited conversation on why happily ever after isn't always enough anymore. Tell us a little bit about your audiobook. You were telling us something exciting about who. Are you allowed to tell? Are you allowed to spill the tea about who's doing audiobook?
Yes, I am. I'm hoping as long as everything works out that it's going to be out September 7th. But the biggest announcement for the audiobook of Her Dark Promise is that Jacob Morgan. So I know. So if anyone is very familiar with that name in the book talk world, they're going to know exactly who Jacob Morgan is. But of course, I need to also highlight my female narrator, Grace Noble. And I'm just so excited that they're coming together. And I mean, I'm a very unknown author as of right now. And so I'm just so excited for all these opportunities.
Well, that's great. How did you nab him?
I sent him a DM on Instagram because I scoured the internet trying to find his email. My thing is like, have emails out, but you can't when you're big, like if you're Taylor Swift or, someone huge. I mean, that's always the first thing that comes to mind. You're not going to get her email. You're going to get her assistant or you're going to get somebody else. So I kind of go by the motto of literally in everything in my life, well, someone's got to do it. Why not me? Mm-hmm. So literally, because I'm also a swim instructor during the summer because audiobooks and writing books and also bills are, they're pricey. So, I told my mom like the price of, how much I was going to charge her some lessons. She's like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Like, of course, a little nervous. I'm like, well, someone's going to pay. And it ended up working out doing that like 4 summers later, So the audiobook stuff, I just told myself, you know what? It's already a no. May as well DM him on Instagram. And then he's like, oh, yeah, just send me all the information. And
he said, let's go, girl.
Yeah.
He said,
I'm so
oh, my
excited.
gosh.
He's like, actually, this sounds kind of cool. And I'm like, bet. I'm like, as a kid say now, bet.
So, I bet, yeah. So let me ask you, you worked for Disney for a while, right?
I sure did.
And Disney are very protective about what they do. Were you a little bit nervous about retelling their stories?
Yeah, what can I do and what can't I do? Yeah. I had to do a lot of research on copyright and, the names. Of course, I don't want to use the name Belle. I'm still very new into all of that. So I wanted to be careful. And all of my names are new. Or they're actually a lot of the names of the voice actors who played the characters. So I thought that was a really fun spin. Also to bring the book more together. The biggest Easter egg for that, which is so perfect, the man who voiced Maurice, which is Belle's father, for those who
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
His last name was Everhart.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, oh man, that's the perfect last name for the kingdom, the Everhart kingdom.
A little homage to the actual Belle. And so you love the original Beauty and the Beast, of course.
I have a tattoo, as you can see, Rose. I'm
Okay.
changing my last. Oh, here you go.
Wait, that's sorry, your name. Oh, is your last name is Rose, or is
I want to change it to Rose because I even met Paige O'Hara, who's the voice of Belle.
Yes.
And I cried. Like, I don't even think I cried. I sobbed, not to get too into it, but high school wasn't too fun for me for some of the time. Not swim lessons. I was on the swim team, so that really just helped me amazing. But I'm from a small town, and I just knew, I wanted to go work at Disney, and Disney was my life. And I was kind of known as like the Disney freak and things like that. So I just found solace in the story of Beauty and the Beast and the character Belle. I mean, she's smart, she's intelligent. I'm smart, I'm intelligent. She goes after her dreams, and she just does all these things, and she just ended up becoming the person the character that I focused on, like hyper focused. And so Belle is kind of like my personality in a sense.
So I lived in Southern California for a long time.
So good.
And my ex-wife, her really into Beauty and the Beast. Her username and lots of things was Belle, and she's a singer too, and she is a great singer, and she can do the songs really well. From years working at Disney, how did it shape your storytelling?
That's a really good question. I just think working at Disney, there's always the kids, even adults, these people are so immersed in these characters. The best story that I could probably give, since this is a story podcast, when I worked there, I believe it was the 50th anniversary. And what they do is they do cast previews, which means whatever new shows out, whether it's the fireworks or whatever it is, they say, hey, cast members, sign up and you can come into the park after hours, and we're going to preview this entire show. It's like a dress rehearsal, but start to finish just for cast members. So mind you, yes, Disney was technically actually made for adults. That's a whole other thing. Yeah. But these are 18 and older, sometimes maybe 16, 17, depending on situations. But this preview, I went for the parade and the fireworks, and I wanted to cry because you have people range from 17, 18 all the way up to 80s, old, like the older generation, crying and yelling for Mickey Mouse. Like, Disney is so immersive with their storytelling and incredible with their storytelling that you have people yelling at someone, and we all know who's in that costume.
Yeah.
We're
know
very,
the person.
Yeah, we're very aware. I did PhotoPass for a long time, and I see them backstage. But when you're on stage and when you're listening to the music and the watching it, it's magic. And so I think just working there for the 7 or 8 or however many years I was there, it just really helped that I was in that space. And now I take storytelling in a different way. I feel like I'm more of like a puzzle girl. Like, I love puzzles. So I like to write all of the big stuff that excites me. And then I call it the boring bits, the things like, she moved from there to there. Like, how do we get from the fun and the fun? How do we connect that?
Okay. Wow.
So it's a little different.
If Walt Disney read your books, what would he say?
You know what? Walt Disney, when you hear some of the stories, he was born a different, literally, generation. So a lot of these many generations ago. I mean,
was he born in like 1910?
So he was born December
Oh, yeah,
15th or the 5th of 1901, and he died a year after Disney World, I believe, what came out. So 1956. Listen, I'm a huge Disney girl. Like,
yeah, you knew that.
1901. That's my. Never mind.
Well, you didn't get the date right. You didn't know the date for sure. Just saying.
It was December 1901.
As a Disney employee, I imagine you have to know these things anyway, right? This is trivia that many of the cast members need to know.
You have no idea.
When Walt Disney was born.
You have no idea about the amount of the weeks of training we go through, not just in our areas, but overall I think it's the 4 keys, and what's most important, is safety or show more important. They would say safety is important, but show.
show.
You got to protect that mouse. You got to protect those characters at all costs. They are everything.
Yeah.
So has there ever been an incident where somebody has like grabbed a character and pulled the head off, or
yes,
the head off, or something like that?
I was there when Chewie got picked up. Don't hug Chewie and pick him up. That will hurt him.
He's like 9 feet tall. How?
Yeah, the guy was just strong and they lifted him. I'm like, you just put that guy in physical therapy for probably the next month. I went through physical therapy because I was in PhotoPass. And
what's PhotoPass? Sorry.
Like photographers. So when you see the people with the cameras, whether they're with characters in front of rides, whatever it is. I see. Yeah. So I was one of them, but that hurts. It's a lot of weight to put on you.
So was that person removed from the park, or was Chewie taken backstage at the time?
Chewie was done with his set. The other Chewie probably ended up coming out a little sooner than normal because they do have like 30-minute breaks for their, like the people with the heads on. I believe the ones without, depending on how much of a heat, how hot it is outside. They're out there for like anywhere 45 minutes to an hour.
So there's no AC in there in the suits?
No, they're sweating. You think like
I
sometimes
thought
I'd
they
help
were
my
all like
friends. No, they
sophisticated with AC.
Sometimes it just really depends. When it was really, really hot, there's like heat 1, heat 2, heat 5. That's when it gets super hot. That's when they start giving us like the electrolytes, like Otter Pop stuff, and like, oh, here's some extra waters, here's some Gatorades for you. So they try to take care of you, but you need to take care of yourself.
So I can say that I know how hot it is in the costumes because I did not work for a theme park, but I did work for a company where I wore the costumes and went to parties and danced around and did that, and it's really hot in there.
Oh yeah, imagine at Disneyland, and when you have the kids, and God forbid you knock one of them over. Yeah,
because you can't see. Is there cameras in there for some of the really hard ones that don't have a good place to see? Is there cameras in there, or are they just like blindly thrashing around?
No, you just have. I mean, depending on like Goofy, I think his line of sight is like the mouth, whereas like the mouse is. I believe it is the eyes. And
yeah, I did Scooby Doo, and the only place he could see was the end of his mouth, but it was like 6 inches from your face,
and you got to be
So
careful.
you could see this little area. So that was okay. Well, let's talk about your.
I know I could talk about that forever.
That's really cool. Let's talk about your novel. What does dark romance fairy tale mean to you?
So it's just I have a really big interest in the darker sides of our beloved Disney stories.
She seems so nice. Yeah.
I am really nice.
But she likes dark stuff.
I love the dark stuff. I don't know what really got me into dark romance as like a genre overall, but I love the morally gray characters, whether they're the males or the females, both sides. And I was reading Sarah J. Maas's A Court with Thorns and Roses. I will admit I got a little jealous because I'm like, I would like to do that. I would like to be where she is. So it's not really jealous, more like not positive envy, but just
inspired.
I was so inspired that I was actually in the shower when I had to stop, and because an idea came to me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I thought of the ballroom scene that I wanted to have in my take on Beauty and the Beast. And I called my friend immediately, still in the shower. I'm like, you're not going to believe it. Here's my idea. Funny enough, that scene is actually no longer in my story.
Yeah.
Saving it for another time. But I do want to plug in my editor, Erin. Thank you, Erin.
Erin's the best.
Erin is the best.
Loving Erin. Yeah. Okay.
We're loving her so much.
Shout out to Erin.
I do.
Okay.
She really she's the reason she transformed my book. I mean, she really helped me to.
Wow. Cool. Thanks, Erin. Yeah.
She really helped, but that's kind of like the reason I love the darker stories. It's just there's depth to these characters that the heroes always are they're always gonna be the hero. Like, but what if they're not? What if the heroes turn bad? And what if the villains have always been misunderstood? There's a reason why villains are villains. They're not just born.
It reminds me a little bit of I think it's Gregory Maguire. He wrote Wicked.
Okay, well, we all know that.
Yeah. So and he wrote some other ones like Son of a Witch, basically taking fairy tales and focusing a little bit to the right. Not the traditional fairy tale characters that we know, but maybe their brother or the stepmother or a different. So you've tapped into a genre that's really popular right now.
It is so popular, and it's really. I wouldn't say it's very saturated. There's only a handful of Beauty and the Beast retellings. There's a lot more Peter Pan ones. A lot of people really like that one. But I mean, I went also the Pinocchio route. That's the book that I'm currently working on, is The Spicy Pinocchio.
Spicy.
A spicy Pinocchio. Oh,
Wait,
interesting.
Are you using the word spicy the way the gays think the word spicy is?
I don't know.
Okay.
But there is
A little naughty.
It's very well. It is a thruple, a healthy thruple situation.
Okay.
So,
Oh wow. You're
so
totally fired from Disney right now.
no, please, I'll go back.
Okay. 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 Wow. So when you started writing like Dark Promise, did you always know where they were going to go, or did the characters kind of write their own destiny?
Oh, everyone was so angry. I think I was angry in the time where I originally wrote the original script.
Okay.
And then my editor was like, we need depth.
You need a little bit. Well, I noticed there's some things I hate about movies and stuff. It's people are so shallow. Like the bully is the extreme bully.
Mm-hmm.
The good girl is extreme good girl. There's the extreme nerd. There's no
Yeah.
depth and complexity to
No.
people. Wow. So,
Claythea is everything. Literally, she's angry, but she's sassy and she's sexy and she has some, there's just so much depth to her. I love her.
what's your character's name?
Bria Rose Everhart.
Calathea. Oh,
Calathea.
she put her
Calathea.
own name in the character's name.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, that's not narcissistic at all. Okay. So, okay. Well, here's the question.
So what's the line between a heroine who doesn't need saving and one who wants to be seen even in her messiest moments?
Oh, man, that is a good question. Calathea was different. I feel that she wants to be seen, but she's been hurt so much that she just has a wall up. So she was for that, it was very complex of like, how do we slowly break down her walls to where she kind of goes from that, like, I don't want to be seen, but I actually want I want to be seen and I want you to be, I want to let people in and I want to care again. I just feel the damsel there's no depth. Like you were saying, there's always an extreme. So if the damsel's going to be a damsel, she's going to be the extreme damsel. She's not going to have any fighting skills. She's going to barely have any communication skills because, she's been perfect probably her entire life.
Someone's going to come in and save the day for her.
Yeah, why does she have to worry?
Right.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to
She has
worry.
literally princess treatment.
Yeah.
That's the definition.
Little
Yeah.
entitled, yes. Oh, well, we know people like that. So, besides,
And he's not talking about me.
no, not him, sure. For someone who writes these books on these retellings, you've got some other amazing stories and stuff to tell. We do these tribute stories on this show, and so we give the guests an opportunity to read their tribute story themselves, or we can read it to you if you want handsome men to read it to you. Or
No, I would love to talk.
Or Howie could read it too if you want. I mean,
She would love to talk, she said.
was
So.
I have a master's in communication studies, so.
I might know this about you, that you like to talk. So I've only met you right now.
The Ink in Her Veins, a tribute to Bria Rose. Once upon a time, but not the kind of time where birds chirped and glass slippers sparkled, there lived a storyteller with ink in her veins and mischief in her smile. Bria Rose was not born in a castle, though she knew them well. She wandered the rose gardens of Versailles, knelt in the volcanic sands of Santorini, and once swam with silence in the belly of the sea. But her true kingdom was made of words that bent the rules of magic, kissed the villains, and questioned what happily ever after really meant. By day, she wore the ears of a mouse and the smile of a cast member, ushering wide-eyed children into worlds she once dreamed of. But by night, she sharpened her pen like a dagger and carved stories that dripped with shadow and velvet desire. Her heroines were not delicate, they were dangerous. Her beasts were not cursed, they were complicated. And the castle? Well, sometimes it needed burning to the ground. Her first book, Her Dark Promise, did not ask for permission. It arrived on Halloween, whispering secrets through pages that throbbed with longing and reckoning. Readers didn't just fall in love. They fell into Bria's world, where the line between desire and darkness was drawn in lipstick and blood. But Bria was not content to live in one story. She chased the horizon like it owed her something, learning French in the glow of Paris cafes, dreaming of a pilot's license just to rewrite the rules of gravity, and riding between flights like a woman possessed by her own brilliance. To meet Bria was to meet a mirror that told the truth. Not who you should be, but who you could become if you dared to want more. This tribute is not an ending. It's a prelude, because Bria Rose doesn't write final chapters. She writes kingdoms. She writes rebellions. She writes love that claws and heals and never, ever apologizes. And somewhere, on a bookshelf, or a boarding pass, or the lips of someone whispering a line that changed them, Bria's story is still being told.
What do you think of that?
I love that. At first, I'm like, oh, we're reading my prompt. Because I'm like, Bria Rose is why that's why I laughed.
We're going to read your prompt. So I think that was a really sweet tribute to you, and it's very inspiring, and it's strong, and it seems like you, the energy that you give, and that's really cool. So
I really loved that. Thank you.
Well, I will send this to you. You can, I'll send this through. So you brought me a story that I would like you to read.
So basically, it is write me a Beauty and the Beast retelling story where Belle's the Beast. Beast and Gaston are brothers who get trapped in her castle. Belle has to go through forgiving herself and the past and accepting what ended up, like what happened, in order to move on for her future.
Okay.
The Beast in the Garden. Once in a quiet village shadowed by a long-forgotten forest, there lived two brothers, Gaston, bold and brash, and his younger brother, Beast, gentle and curious. They were as different as fire and rain, yet bound by blood and a promise to never leave each other behind. One autumn night, chasing rumors of a cursed castle hidden deep in the woods, they stumbled upon its gates, drawn by whispers of magic and mystery. The air grew colder, the trees older, the doors opened on their own. Inside lived Belle, though no one called her that anymore. The villagers had long since forgotten her name. Time had twisted her form, claws where fingers once were, a mane instead of hair, eyes glowing like dying embers, but it wasn't magic that transformed her. It was grief, rage, shame. Years ago, she tried to protect her home, her books, her heart. But when the world turned on her, called her strange, cursed, unloved, she shut herself away, brick by brick, until the castle became her skin. Gaston called her monster. Beast only watched. But the castle did not let its guests leave, not until its mistress found peace. Trapped together, the days turned to weeks. Gaston mocked Belle, tried to fight her. She snarled, roared, threatened, but never harmed him. Beast instead asked questions, read her books, listened, and slowly Belle began to speak. I was kind, she said once, voice hoarse with disuse. I tried to be good, but I hated how I couldn't stop caring, even when it hurt. I hated how they saw me, so I became what they feared. Beast sat beside her in the garden, not overgrown and wild. It's not wrong to be angry, he said, but you're not just anger. And Belle, for the first time in years, looked at her claws not with disgust, but understanding. These were the hands that built her sanctuary, the teeth that protected it, the rage that kept her alive. In accepting her darkness, she found light. The thorns that barred the thorns that barred the gate began to recede. Gaston fled the moment they did, but Beast stayed. He took her hand, beast to beast, and smiled. And in that ruined castle, overgrown with time and truth, Belle learned to forgive the girl she once was and love the creature she'd become.
So how is that related to your actual book? So.
I mean, very close. I wanted to keep the essence of those characters that are beloved by all, millions of people. And so, I mean, that really was Belle, but my Belle doesn't turn into a beast. It's her trauma that makes her beastly and act out.
So she doesn't look beastly.
She's gorgeous. I actually, there is a candlestick because I did want to pay homage to some of those characters, but no,
they're not alive. They're not personified.
No, we have two new characters actually. So yeah,
not sharing. Is that secret? Is that too much spoiler?
No, not at all. I can talk a little bit about that. So we have Callum, who is kind of like the mother hen of this little group of 5. I think that end up having. Then the teapot. So we have Belle, who is the beast. Then we have Callum, who is like our simp character. He will literally let her do anything and everything. I want to say he's more like my pansexual character. Yeah. He likes who he likes, and he doesn't, as long as it makes her happy, he's happy.
Okay.
Then we have Amelia, who was abused. A lot of all these characters were abused in one way or another, but because of her abuse, she can't really talk well. So she whispers a lot, and they learn to kind of do sign language. So she's kind of like a servant friend. Calathea doesn't really care what she does. She's like, just stay safe in this castle. Do what you want. If you want to stay, stay. If you don't, that's fine too. You know.
Wow, cool.
She's told herself, I'm going to be alone forever anyways. Like who cares what ends up happening? And then
it sounds like dating, like in today's world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I think what I'd like you to do is read your poem. And then we'll maybe do the script together, the three of us, because people want to hear us, like our voices too, huh? Maybe
let's do it.
Okay, this is your poem.
All right. Her Dark Promise, a prose poem in tribute to Bria Rose's reimagining of Beauty and the Beast. She once danced with sunlight in her hair, a crown of lilies, laughter trailing like silk behind her. Calathea Everhart, daughter of summer, a name spoken sweetly in song, until a witch's whisper turned it bitter. And time forgot how to hold her. Now she reigns in silence. Centuries spool out like ribboned thorns across a kingdom that no longer says her name. The world outside her border has grown old without her, and she, untouched by time, sits draped in a throne of velvet sorrow, watching roses bloom and rot, while her heart forgets how to beat for anything but memory. The curse is not claws. It is not fangs. It is not even the monster they claim lurks in the woods. No, the curse is stillness. To ache for touch and never take it, to hunger for change and be denied it, to live so long that you become the very legend they once begged to protect them. They call her Beast, not knowing the creature is grief itself. And yet, through the hush of moss and shadow, two brothers cross a line no one dares cross. One with fire in his veins, blade in his teeth, a boy made of rage who believes monsters must be slain. The other, quieter, with eyes like dusk and hands that do not flinch. He does not fear her. He sees the bones of the woman beneath the myth and dares to dream of undoing what time has twisted. She could crush them. She has crushed them before. But the boy with soft eyes speaks to something ancient, a memory of warm skin and unbroken mornings. And in his voice she hears not salvation, but the temptation to remember who she once was. What price must be paid to trade loneliness for love? What wound must be reopened to let in light? The curse is more than spell work. It is choice. It is a promise made in grief and a reckoning that comes in the form of an open door. She does not know if she is heroine or villain. She only knows that she is not done. Not with this forest, not with these men, not with this heart which dares even now to stir from its slumber. This is not a fairy tale. It is a reckoning, wrapped in velvet and shadow, dripping in heat and hesitation, and it begins, not with a kiss, but with a question. Will you still love me if I never become beautiful again?
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by The Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
That's beautiful. I like all of these prompts. These are awesome.
Wow, that was really sweet. And
that was.
And that was I know that people have a very narrow idea that like what a poem is.
Yeah.
Usually it produces poems like that are very like rhymey, but that has just a rhythm to it, which makes it like a lot more interesting. So was it similar to your story or?
I mean, the main difference is that mine's a reverse harem, which means she gets all the boys. So she get everybody. She got 3.
Wow. So what happened there? it jumped up.
That's okay.
So well, let's do the script. You want to do a script with us?
Please.
So let's see. We'll read the parts here first, and then we will decide who's going to do which part. So here's called Ashes and Obsession, a dark romance fairy tale retelling podcast script. Okay, there's Ella, a cunning, poised woman that's going to be that's Howie right there, with a haunted past and a blade behind her smile. Prince, dark, smooth voice, a cursed royal monster, barely holding on to his humanity.
No,
Okay.
that'll be you.
A guard. I don't know if I have the smooth voice. The guard, Rowan, the prince's royal protector, quietly intense with a dry wit. So who do you want to be?
I think I'm going to have to choose Ella.
You have the Ella? So,
Yep.
So do you want to be the prince or the guard?
I'll be the guard.
Okay, so we have to
That's okay. I can
do this
scoot
in a way
yeah.
that we can
All right.
We'll
see it.
scooch.
Okay.
Okay, so I will. Okay, so orchestra music echoing, mass laughter, the clink of glass vases.
Oh, wait. Am I the narrator?
I
Okay.
pointed to
Oh,
you.
sorry.
I was supposed to give you a clue.
In the heart of the palace, where chandeliers dripped like honey and masked guests swirled in velvet and silk, she entered, uninvited, unknown, and entirely unforgettable.
Music shifts, strings sharpen into tension. You don't bow. All the others curtsy, stumble, blush. But you just look at me?
Should I be afraid?
That depends. Are you here to be chosen, or are you here to tempt the wolf from its cage?
Maybe I'm here to see if the wolf can bleed.
Pause, silent hangs like a held breath.
Murmuring to the prince, she's not listed. No seal, no family name. You want her gone?
No, gods no. I want to see what she does next.
You whisper like I can't hear you. That's cute.
Who are you?
Someone who remembers what your kingdom took. Someone who doesn't faint at fairy tales or fall for pretty curses.
You think this is pretty?
No, I think it's pathetic. You host a masquerade of blood to feel less like a monster. You bind your soul to strangers so you can walk in daylight. But you haven't lived in centuries, have you?
That's enough. We can escort you out gently if you behave.
Go ahead, try. But when my mask falls, the curse won't be yours alone anymore.
Her mask drops, the sound of metal hitting the stone, when low humming magic vibration. What are you?
The last heir of the forgotten line, the fire in your father's archives, the name you erased from the royal scrolls.
She's the blood curse they buried.
And she came here to finish it?
No, I came here to rewrite it.
Flame sparkling, music writes, not triumphant but inevitable.
Midnight was never the end of the story. Not for her, not for them, and not for the kingdom built on borrowed time.
Your Majesty, will you dance with the girl you tried to forget?
Wow.
Nice.
It seemed like it was more Cinderella than Beauty and the
did.
Beast.
It did. And I like how, all the Beauty and the Beast stories, of course, are going to have the Beast be the Beast because that is the original story. But,
Yeah.
I like that.
One thing I like about, we're talking about retellings of story is like in Wicked, how, the witch at the end got, I'm melting. And it's like, that's always, well, she was bad and evil. But Wicked retells that why that was that was like her.
I have a story for you, and
Sure.
I'll give you permission to write this story.
Okay.
I've always wanted to know, the sorceress or the witch in Beauty and the Beast that transforms the prince?
Yeah.
I want to know her story. Why did she transform into a haggard old woman? What was the point of going to the prince's castle to offer him a rose? What was she trying to prove? What is her story?
I have her story.
Do you really?
So if you read my book, her story is a big part of Calathia's story. She's there literally from the first page until one of the last pages.
So wait,
yeah.
like how you didn't read your book?
I
huh?
did not read your book,
Oh my
but
God.
I'm going
They were
to
going,
now.
Okay, good. You're going to
Yeah.
be like drumming up that excitement. People are real. That's good. People who want to know that story will need to read the book.
Now, it's not very similar to Beauty and the Beast. She doesn't turn into an older woman. She
Yeah.
doesn't give a rose to the male beast, so it is a little different. So don't go, a lot of people with my story feel like they go in thinking that they know my story and they don't. It is completely different. So my witch is a little different.
I'm just saying what you said is I have her story.
I do have her
That's
story.
what you said. So, that's what we're expecting now. Wow. So we sometimes, I know I'm going to put you on the spot for a second.
Uh-oh.
We like to tell people, and I did write it in the email to you,
Okay.
but we like to give people a little time to talk. What's your message to the world? What do you want to tell people?
Oh my gosh, thank you for this question. Like in general or writing?
I mean,
wise?
what's
I want to hear both.
Yeah, I want to hear both.
Yeah.
That's great. Let's hear
Okay.
both. We want it all.
All right. So with writing, I want to say because I get a lot of questions, like how to become a writer, why, all these different questions of like kind of like how, just write knowing it's going to be bad, right? Knowing that you're probably going to look at it and cringe. Just write, because you cannot write. I know it's so cliche, but you cannot edit a blank page.
Yeah.
So that would be my writing advice.
And they say you have to write at least 10,000 words before it's even worth reading.
Oh my gosh, I'm about to probably throw out all the stuff that I wrote today. You just never know. And the way I write is very stream of consciousness. So if that is your way of writing, there is no one right way. You don't have to do from chapter 1 to the end. You don't have to do that. You can do whatever it is that's going to make your story come together and come to light. But yeah, no, just write.
So you write every day still?
I try.
You try. Okay.
I try my best. But I'm kind of going to go back to what I said earlier of someone's got to make it. Why not you? Why not me? Why not?
Absolutely. I live by that. I'm a farm boy from Ireland who's living here because of the adventures I went, adventures I went on, and the things I saw and the people I met, and I lived that for sure. I've done so many stuff that, I've done things like the scuba diving, which, by the way, a funny story. You said something like how don't tell them it was my first time like scuba. My sister went to Alaska to be a kayak instructor in the lakes around like killer whales. Yeah. And she'd never kayaked before. And she did.
Fake it till you make it.
She did it for months. And it just shows you, when I go to these places now and I want to go scuba diving, I'm thinking, I don't know about this person. I don't know if I want to go out there where there's killer whales with this person from Ireland who's never done it before. But they're fake it till you make it. Sometimes you just got to go out there and just
But
do
also,
it.
it's already a no unless you ask. Like, another thing real quick is I got, I booked a segment on Good Day Sacramento with Cody's Caravan.
Nice.
I'm pretty excited. That is a tentative date for early September. But it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't just asked, hey, do you do this?
You have to always ask. I mean,
I'm on the news. I'm going to be on the news. That's crazy.
Well, the reason a lot of the guests I have, we went to a Little House on the Prairie convention, and I asked them all. And they all said yes. I haven't booked them yet, but I'm in the process of booking people from. We've had Hollywood people on, Hollywood producers, and
Love that.
you just have to ask, and they say yes.
Yeah, why not?
On Podmatch, I ask everybody because
I ask everybody.
Why not?
Well, I wasn't sure about, because I like this podcast. I wasn't sure because I was matching with everybody. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to email everybody that comes across me, or if it says author, I'm going to try.
Yeah, well, you're the first one from Podmatch that has. No, you're not my first one from Podmatch. You're my first one on Podmatch that wanted to do it live. Because most people want to do it remote, right?
Why would I want to miss this opportunity? This is so cool.
Well, because I think a lot of people live all over the country, and
that's
so
true.
I have people from all over. I think you're the only local person that's actually matched with me. So, do we want to read another story? We're kind of running short in time, but we have time for, let's see, another.
We're just flowing. I love this.
Let's see. Did we read? No, we wrote the tribute. We read the tribute. Her Dark Promise. We read that. That's the poem. Did we read?
We read my prompt.
The slightly we didn't read this one.
Would you like to read it? I did a lot of reading.
I think Howie would like.
I'll read it.
Yes.
I'll read it for sure.
Howie loves reading. I mean, I like reading.
Howie and I feel like are very similar.
Yeah, I like reading too, but I mean, I figure I do so much talking and question asking. I should let my guests read. Okay.
Her slightly more complicated than usual promise. As told in the narrative voice of someone who's been eavesdropping on enchanted mirrors and sarcastic ravens far too long. In the vaguely cursed kingdom of Virewood, located just past the Valley of Echoes, which was irritatingly literal, and 2 left turns from reason, it was widely known that a terrifying beast lived deep in the forest. And like all terrifying beasts, it was once a woman.
Funny, yeah.
Now,
gay. That's why we're gay. Okay. Yeah.
Now, this was not your average curse, which usually involves spinning wheels, poisoned apples, or obscure contractual obligations with trickster demons who really should have gone into law. No, This curse was old magic, the kind that didn't change your shape, but your tax bracket, your reputation, and your entire interior design aesthetic. Calathea Everhart had once been a princess in the sense that people bowed to her in public and blamed her for the weather in private. Then she became a queen, which mostly meant mostly meant the bowing stopped and the blaming intensified. And then the witch showed up. Nobody knows what the witch said to her exactly. The squirrels refused to talk about it. But afterward, vines grew over the palace walls, mirrors stopped reflecting, and Calathea stopped attending council meetings entirely, although to be fair, they were very dull. Over the next few centuries, give or take a royal decade, she developed a reputation for being the sort of monarch who might either hex your village or forget you exist entirely, depending on her mood and the alignment of the moons. Children were warned not to wander too far. Grown men told tales in taverns about glowing eyes in the mist. And the villagers, being practical people, started throwing sacrifices into the forest just in case. These sacrifices included livestock, pastries, and on one notable occasion, a tax collector. The pastries were most appreciated. Enter the brothers. One was tall, broad-shouldered, and armed with a sword so big it could have its own personality. He was determined to kill the beast and gain glory, gold, or possibly an endorsement deal with the chain of taverns.
That's funny.
The other brother was smaller, quieter, and had the sort of gaze that said, I see you, and I'm not even a little bit afraid of your talons. He didn't come to slay the beast. He came to talk to her. And that's where things got awkward. Because Calathea, beneath the scales and sarcasm, was lonely, not that she'd say that, oh no. She'd say things like, if you keep staring at me like that, I'll make you part of the decor. Or, your heartbeat is unnecessarily loud. Are you trying to seduce me or die dramatically?
Yeah. Sounds like her.
But what she meant was, please don't leave.
Yeah.
The curse, you see, wasn't just about being monstrous. It was about being remembered as one. Which is why, one dusky evening, after some fencing, some bickering, and some surprisingly tender conversation about trauma and cinnamon rolls, Calathea decided it was time to face the past. With the help of one very determined brother, an enchanted cloak with abandonment issues, and a mildly disgruntled talking raven named Oswald, she set out to break the curse the hard way, by telling the truth. And if in the end she found something like love, rough-edged, inconvenient, and slightly feral, well, that was just a bonus. Oswald once spent 2 months disguised as a velvet curtain just to avoid a party. He has opinions.
That's funny.
It's so good.
So good. Well, yeah, that was a fun story, and how he reads it so well.
I try.
Yeah,
You did really good.
he's very trying. No, I mean, yeah, you try. Well, this is exciting. I'm so excited for your book. It's out in stores.
Yeah, I actually just recently found out that it's also in Walmart.com. So that's
Oh,
really I don't know how that
nice.
happened.
Okay.
Well, you have a distributor,
Surprise!
right?
Ingram Spark, yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure how it goes to places, but for sure it is on Walmart.com, Barnes & Noble, and of course Amazon. Barnes & Noble, I do have, that's for the Art and Fair location in Sacramento. I am having a book signing there July 26th, and there are a lot. My books are normally there.
July 26th.
July
What-
26th.
What time?
Well, what time? Where?
I'm going to be there all day, so probably starting around noon to like probably closing.
So if you'd like to meet
Yeah.
Bria Rose,
Come say hi.
the author of the soon-to-be best-selling book, Her Dark Promise,
Yep.
come to Art and Rose. Is Barnes and Noble still exists?
Barnes & Noble still
Every
exists,
time
yes.
someone says Barnes and Nobles, I say that. So come to Barnes and Nobles,
Yep.
12 to noon,
Yep.
and you'll be selling
Well,
your
12
book.
to 9.
12 to 9.
Yeah.
Did I say 12 to
clo-
noon?
You sure did. That's okay.
12 to 9, you're there. You're going to be there in 9 hours?
I'm going to be there. Sometimes I'm there like 11 to closing. I'm there all day because, I mean, sometimes like literally at like 8:55, you get like 10 people.
Do you sit at the table the whole time? Or
I
is it-
stand.
You
So I
stand.
get really tired.
wow.
My energy comp is like really low, but it's worth it. It's worth. I do need like a whole day of sleeping, but it is worth it. I love it.
So, and you're signing books. Are you doing any reading?
One day that shall be me. People shall pay to come see me, but I mean, no readings, just signing, just kind of getting my name out there still.
Okay, well, that's cool. We'll come see Bria Rose in Arden, Barnes & Nobles. That's in the Sacramento area. If you're in the Sacramento,
yep.
Come on July 20th. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be in town, but Howie will be in town.
Come see me.
I'll be
traveling. I'm traveling.
It is the nicest staff. I mean, you go in there, they are my favorite people. Hi, people.
Hi, people. Great. So, and do you have something else in the works you want to talk about as a little teaser?
Yes. I mean, there's so many projects. I'm working on a Klaus and Caroline from Vampire Diaries story because I believe we are robbed. I can't talk about the story yet until we do, not that one, but a different one. I actually got contracted to write a story for One More Chapter, which is part of HarperCollins.
Yeah.
So I was contracted to write a story for them. I can start sharing what that story is as soon as we do a debut kind of like post on social media. So it's a very silly idea in a way of like, never would have, if I told you it, you'd be like, what? That's crazy. But it's actually really incredible.
And so when's that post going to come out?
Hopefully sometime this month, if not early August. I'm going to get with the social media person over there.
So please plug your social medias and your website. And
so I'm going to make it very easy. Everything, TikTok, Instagram, my website is author Bria Rose. That is BriaRose. So that is at authorbriarose.com, TikTok, Instagram, author Bria Rose.
That makes it easy, yes.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much. I probably should do my sign off here. Thank you for listening. Go to spirittalkshow.com to get all the information about shows and where to listen, and go to our social medias on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. And thank you for listening. Say goodnight, Howie.
Good night.
And say goodnight, Bria.
Good night.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for spending time with us. Now go make a story worth telling.